Today we're memorizing Job 37:14. Grab your colors because this is a draw with me. Hi friends, I'm Miss Nancy Ruth.
And I'm Mr. Roger.
We want to see kids living for Jesus. This is part of Bible Drill Red Cycle. For more information, check out the description below. Let's say the verse first and then we'll start to draw it. Job 37:14. Hear this, O Job. Stop and consider the wondrous works of God. Job 37:14. So Job is supposed to listen. And when I think of listening, I think of ears. So let's draw an ear. I'm going to grab a brown here. And for an ear, excuse me, for an ear, I kind of draw like this. So we're going to make it really big. And there's kind of some spots in the ear that you can see, kind of like that. Okay, now that looks really weird detached from a head, doesn't it? So let's add a head. And we're going to make it extra big on this head because we're emphasizing the listening. Kind of like that. And we'll need a neck. Excuse me. We'll need a neck. And we'll bring a hand up behind as well. But first, let's add some hair. So I'm going to draw some floppy hair over here. Floppy, floppy, floppy. And this command to Job is something that we should do too. We need to listen and be aware and consider and think about. That's what consider means, to think about the amazing things that God has done, his wonderful things. All right, let's see. Let's give some simple eyes here. And we're going to give him some quirky eyebrows because he's listening and paying attention. So we're going to kind of go like this and give a kind of up, eyebrow up like yes kind of thing. And we'll give him a nose and kind of a wow, small little wow. Okay, and then let's see, let's give him a t-shirt. So we're going to give him a collar and some sleeves. What are some things that God has done that amaze you? Think about that and let me know down in the comments. What are some things that God has done that amazes you? And we've got his hand coming up here. I need to make that other sleeve a little bigger, I think, to match. That's okay. We can do that. Some of the things that God has done that amazes me, I love to be out in the garden, and recently we've been seeing some hummingbirds coming through our garden. And it amazes me the way that God designed the hummingbirds so that they can just hover and stay in one place rather than having to fly like this, like the birds do. It's just incredible. Okay, now we're going to color in his face, just real lightly, so that we don't cover up his expressions. Some of the other things, the wonders that amaze me, when I'm not sure or I'm worried about something, one of the things I like to do is read those last few chapters of Job that start there with Job 37. And it talks about several of the things that God has done and God has made. And it helps me see when I have trouble seeing on my own the amazing things that God has done. So that's a great few chapters to read from Job 37 all the way to the end of the book in Job 42. Oh, I forgot to draw the rest of his arm. That's the whole point of the arm being up. Oops, wrong brown. Let's try this one. So he's got his arm back behind his ear, you know, where people go like this to hear better. Okay, so that's the idea here. And we're going to give him an elbow like this. And I should have colored him in when I colored in the face. Oh, well, that's okay. All right, so we have listening Job. Wow, that doesn't match at all. I'll have to make these a little darker. We have listening Job. This also applies when people are teaching and talking about things that God has done. Do we listen or do we just kind of tune them out and think about our own thing? That's another way to listen to the things that and consider God's wonders, is to listen when other people are sharing. Could be a teacher, it could be a friend, it could be anybody. Now, I want to show you a really easy way to draw a stop sign. Are you ready? Okay, get out your yellow. You use your yellow and draw really lightly so you can barely see it. I'm going to use my orange so that you can see it better. All right, we're going to draw a square like this because it says stop and consider or stop and think about. All right, then we're going to kind of go cockeyed and we're going to do another square like this. You could also do this with a pencil and then erase the parts that you don't need. And then this spot here in the middle, looky there, this is an octagon, a stop sign. And like I said, you can erase those bits on the outside, or if you used a really light yellow, that'll work too. And I'm going to kind of shade it in because stop signs where I live are yellow. I mean, not yellow, red. They're red. And I'm going to put the word stop. Now, if stop signs look differently where you live, you can draw a different kind of stop sign, one that fits where you live. So stop and consider. All right, let's do the verse that we have so far. Oh, I forgot to put the reference. Oh my goodness, how did I do that? All right, well, put that at the top. Here we go, Job. Remember, it's spelled like the word job, but because it's a name, it's pronounced Job. So Job 37:14, and that means it's chapter 37, and then the colon in the verse comes after the colon. All right, let's do what we know so far. Job 37:14. Hear this, O Job. Stop and consider the wondrous works of God. Job 37:14. God's wonders. Now, I told you to be thinking about this. I want you to think about one of God's wonders, and we're going to draw it right there. And you can draw whatever you like. It could be sunset. It could be hummingbird, like I was talking about. It could be lifting weights because God gives you strength to do that. It could be running and playing because God gives you your friends and he gives you the energy to run and play. It could be food you like to eat. It could be rain. It could be water. It could be a cross because of what Jesus did for us. It could be a miracle that Jesus did. It could be something that God did in your life. One of the things that God did in my life is he saved me in a car wreck. And so I'm going to draw a car. Let's see. I'm going to go like this. It is pretty incredible because in this car wreck, we drove off the road and ended up in the median in the middle of the road, and we totaled the car. That means the car was crumpled where it couldn't be used again. And my friend and I were taken to the hospital, and they were really worried about us. But it turns out I mostly just needed a shower, and my friend had a little bit of a rub burn and a little small bruise, and that's it. We weren't hurt at all. And it was like angels sat on those airbags in the car to keep us safe and make sure we didn't get super hurt, because they told us at that same place in the road not too long ago, in fact, the week before, a guy had been driving and had a similar wreck to what we had, and he died right there in the accident, and we didn't even need serious hospitalization. It was a miracle. If you want to know more about that accident, I actually wrote about it in a blog, and you can check that link in the description below. It's pretty neat. And so that's one of the things that God has done in my life. I've got a lot of red in here. That's okay. I might make this car a little more brownish black. And I was talking to you more than I was drawing, so this drawing is kind of simple, but that's okay. Simple drawings are good. The main part of these drawings is not necessarily to put it in a gallery. It's to help us to remember what the verse is talking about. It's a way to help us memorize the verse and internalize it, help us to really think about it and consider it like we're talking about in this verse. Okay, let's say the verse one more time. You ready? Job 37:14. Hear this, O Job. Stop and consider the wondrous works of God. Job 37:14. Great job. If you want to know more about some of the amazing wonders that God has done, check out this playlist. Don't forget to subscribe. We post memory verses in 4 translations, key passages, answers to Bible questions, and more. Check out our store and freebies at parentroadmin.com. We love you, friends. See you next time.